Do you feel like you have something inside of you that can never be quenched? This unquenchable thirst in you that doesn't break free. For me, I felt this way about my drug use. How every day I would do the same thing, live the same routine. Always giving into this thirst, this feeling of needing more, being deprived of something that I didn't already have. Never being satisfied. Always dissatisfied. Never enough, never enough. I need more, need something. Something that'll break away my restraints that are in me, that hold me down. So I went about quenching this thirst. I would go to the corner store, pick up a 2-4, get home, and blast myself into space. Thirst quenched. Or was it? I always fell back down, back into reality, back into this crumbling mess I would put myself in, unable to quench the thirst. Always seeking to quench the thirst. Drugs can provide us such a blast into space, as much as they are just this unquenchable thirst that always seek more and more and more. It's like a needy little kid that doesn't get what he wants. Give me a piece of candy. I need that piece of candy. I want that piece of candy. So this thirst that we seek, we go to quench it, right? Because it won't quiet down. We do this with our vices. For me, it was mainly alcohol, somewhat marijuana, but alcohol was this main thirst I needed to quench. And when I would go about it, it would send me off to the moon when I would quench this thirst. And when I arrived back from my trip to the moon, I would arrive back to a reality that was crumbling before me. Back to a reality that was just a mess. And just as I was falling back from my journey to the moon, I would come crashing down into this reality that I did not want to be in. And what a terrible feeling that was. Back below zero with the thirst that I still needed to quench. Drugs are this unquenchable thirst that will never be satisfied. That will always leave you dissatisfied in a place of regret, guilt, and shame. They provide nothing more than that of a short trip to the moon and back. And when you arrive back, you plummet and you fucking go fast. And you feel like the only way you can ever get that high again is by going back up to the moon. Well, you'll go back up to the moon, and once you come back, splash down. Now you're fucking going under the water. That's not good. How are you gonna get fucking back up to the moon now? Well, we just gotta keep doing it. We just gotta keep going to the moon. What? But you've already done that. You've already gone to the moon and came back and realized that you'll always end up there. Smash in the water. Escape from our reality here. When we would soar off into the sky and feel all this bliss and amazement. And then when we would loop around the moon, oh, what a journey on beautiful sights and beautiful feelings we would feel. And oh man, it's just going to end now. What do I do? I gotta go back there. I gotta get back there. I can't stay here in this reality that it doesn't feel good. That crumbles. This crushing reality. I cannot stay here. So we shoot off back to the moon. I'll need to return back, splashing down and hitting harder. Because the rocket we use is going to be the same rocket every trip. And this rocket is not always going to be in that perfect condition for that first flight. After you go 1, 2, 3, 10, 20 times around that moon, you're not in the same condition. You can't keep going. You cannot keep pushing. This rocket's just holding on. It is crumbling from within. The outer metal shields and the plates on it, it's just fucking getting damaged and hit with rocks on the way there to your journey. And it's getting bashed in, and it's getting fucking, it's running on fumes half of the time. So this rocket can barely take enough. It's shaking on your journey there, and on the journey to this destination that you know you'll have to come back to. And when you get back from your destination, back to the reality that is unfolding before you, you know you'll be dissatisfied. You know you can never be as satisfied as when you were up there. I used to take daily trips to that moon, going around it, coming back down and crashing into my own reality. What an unpleasant and dissatisfying feeling that was to live through every single day. To go through my days and building my rocket ship, which used to stand so tall and big and mighty. Over time, that rocket ship couldn't take it anymore. And my rocket ship became shaky, unstable, and it nearly lost everything it once held dear. If it wasn't obvious by now, these are all kind of metaphors. My name is Anthony, and I used to be an addict for alcohol and marijuana. And, well, I've overcome my addictions, and I'm triumphant over them now. I'm feeling really good. I don't need to go back to the moon. My reality here is as beautiful as ever. This is what I want for you. For when you come crashing down and you look around, and you look down at what's around you, I want you to think it's beautiful, worth pursuing, worth chasing. So you're back down from Earth. You're in this reality that you don't like, that doesn't serve you. You're preparing to go back to the moon in your shaky, unstable rocket ship, which could implode at any second, but you don't care. The journey is worth it, you think. So you get started, you start packing your things, and you get ready to do this journey again. But this time, you aren't going alone. You have a friend you're going to bring with you. We'll call this friend D. So this friend, you bring him aboard your rocket ship. You say, we're going to see marvelous things, we'll feel better, we'll leave everything behind. You set off. And while you're going there, on your trip, your journey, your friend, he tells you, why do we bother going to the moon when we could go for Mars instead? Well, why? That sounds like a brilliant idea. I haven't gone to Mars yet. We just need to redirect our course and fucking go full power. We can shoot there. It'll be an even more peaceful, blissful journey. We just need to add more to our fire. So, throw in some more coals. We can get there. And once you get to Mars and with this friend, look at all this peaceful beautifulness, and you are satisfied. You're satisfied. For the hour you're there and you're looking at everything and you're feeling good. And then this friend in the back of your ear, he goes, Venus is just that way. Why don't we go over there? Check that out too. No, while we're here, we might as well keep going. So, we go. And then once you get there, you realize, this isn't Venus. This is Mercury. This isn't that nice. It's just very barren. There's nothing here. No colors, nothing. What are we doing here? And your friend goes, what are you talking about? This is your fault. My fault? Yeah. You wanted to keep going. You wanted to see more, and now we're distantly out here because you wanted to come. You wanted to come on this trip with me. What? I'm the one that set out on this trip. Now it's my fault? And your friend, Mr. D, R-U-G, he goes, well, of course it's your fault that we're this far out here. You're gonna have to let me take control of this. I can steer you back to where you need to go. You think, well, I guess I've never really been here before. I don't know what to do. I guess it's best to listen to him. He can get me home safely. And so you give in to him. You start to feed his fire more and more and more. And then you realize that he isn't taking you home. He's taking you farther away. He's blasting you off even higher into space, to a place that you didn't want to begin with. You wanted this peace. You wanted this bliss. But now you're so shaken up, you don't feel good being this far out here, this blasted off into space. You're scared. Now what do I do with my friend here, who's clearly taking control? So you begin to talk with him. Okay, we need to slow this rocket down. We need to turn around and we need to land safely. What are you talking about, your friend says. And then you begin to realize that this isn't a friend. He gives the appearance of being a friend, but in reality, he is in disguise. He is an intruder that wants to take you farther away from where you want to really go. So, this intruder and you start to argue a little bit. No, I want to go that way. I really don't want to keep going up there. I don't think that's best for me. In fact, what I think is best for me is if I were back on the ground in my reality, even if it was crumbling before me. I think I would rather be down there. And your friend in disguise, the intruder, he goes, why would you want to return there? You only ever come back up here. Well, he is kind of telling the truth. I only do ever try to go back around the moon, blast off into space and enjoy my time. Why should I go back? Okay, I'll listen to you. Here, let's keep feeding the fire. Put some more coals in there. Glug, glug, glug. So now, you're at Neptune. You've made it all the way to the outer solar system here. The feelings aren't the same as when you were running around the moon. Now you've gone too far. You don't know how you'll be when you land back, and you really don't know what'll happen on the way there. But you gotta get back, and you'll crash land hard. You know this. So you bring it up to this intruder, who at this point you've given the power and control to. And this intruder seems like the voice of reason of the crew. He seems like he knows all the right answers and how to feel better. So far, you've seen such amazing and beautiful sights with him. And you're still alive in your rocket ship. But you don't really want to be this far out. And you don't like the way this feels. You're starting to realize that being this far away from home on Earth is scary, unsettling, and most of all, when you're this high away from home, you realize you just want to be in that beautiful place at home with the beautiful lush green, the beautiful feelings you could experience there, the beautiful life you could be living down in this real reality that you will constantly push away. And being so high up there, the only way to get back, you know, you can't go any farther. You fight. You fight this intruder off. No more. No, we're not going no more. Because all he wants to do is keep going. And so you try to tell him to stop. No! We can't go no more. We can't continue this. We have to turn around. We got to go back home. And this intruder, he won't give in. He wants to keep going. He wants to keep burning the fuel until there's nothing left. And so, the choice becomes, you take control or do you give it away? What do you do? Because when you come back home, back to your reality here on Earth, after being away for so long on this trip, maybe it was only a few hours of a trip too. You'll get home, you know, you'll smack hard into that ground. What an unpleasant feeling and ride that'll be when you have to go into it. And you'll know that the way that you've been going on this journey, you'll make a hard landing. And this hard landing, you aren't just smashing into the surface. You're going to go below. You're going to go way below the surface. You don't even know if you'll be able to resurface when you get back. But you know that you want to be back. You want to be back at home on Earth in a reality that serves you, that you feel satisfied in. And you know that you will be dissatisfied the second you get back from your trip. But you know, it's probably the most worthwhile thing to do is to be at home instead of being outside of the solar system where you don't want to be. So you give yourself the courage and you bring your rocket ship back home. It's a long journey back home, but you get there. And in fact, you get there quite fast. Maybe 2 or 3 times faster than it took you to get all the way up there. Wow. And when you're getting back from your trip, you still have the intruder on board. He's still telling you to go back, to keep going back. And you have to argue with this guy. This guy who you know he wants to see good things and feel good ways, but man, what an obnoxious intruder. I don't want to continue arguing with you. I don't want to continue hearing you in the back of my spaceship yelling at me, rattling on the walls. Let's go! Let's keep going! Come on! So you're arguing and arguing. You know what? This journey, it could have lasted 3 hours, or it could have lasted a whole year. I went on this journey for about a year. And this bickering near the end, this fighting and knocking on walls, and angry yelling, and just anger and frustration and hatred that would be built up in this rocket. It was unacceptable. It was so overwhelming to be in the spaceship for your descent back into Earth. Oh my gosh, I just cannot deal with you. You have to go away. Done with you. We went all the way out there and I found nothing. Dissatisfied. Yeah, I felt good. I had a good time with you. But being with you like this, how you hurt me, how you lied to me, I don't want you on board my ship anymore. In fact, I don't know if I want to go back up on that ship with you. How long have you been in this ship with me? Have you always been with me on my trip to the moon? Have you always been telling me? Oh, you have been. Oh. Mr. D-R-U-G. I don't think I want to continue taking this rocket ship up into space, and I think it looks so much nicer down on this ground. It may be a mess right now, but in my mind, what I want, I can make this look so nice. I can make this look wonderful, and I don't need you to be a part of it. Rocket ship that goes into space, and Mr. Intruder who won't leave my rocket ship. I'll leave you behind, and I'll stay here on this Earth. So, the return journey, we crash hard. And we know from that trip, I don't want to go back up there. What I want is down here. Even if it's messy, I don't want it. I'm not going back up there. And your intruder friend, he comes out of the spaceship with you, and he tries to pull you back into it. And he goes, no, we have to go back up there. Come on. It'll feel so nice. Don't you remember all the sights we've seen, how beautiful it was? Oh, come on, take me with you. Come on, let's go. We must go back. We have to go back up there. Don't you remember? Don't you remember how beautiful and nice it was to feel all those ways? And you look at the rocket ship, how unstable and shaky it is. It's just shaking. And it's all dented and destroyed and doesn't look, it's barely hanging on. Pieces are falling off of it. And you look at yourself, your intruder, you. And he's begging for you to go back there. But this you, he doesn't want what's best for me and you. He wants what's best for himself. He wants to go back on that trip. But you feel like you don't. You feel like you're done. But it's begging you to come back on another trip. I learned I had to kick that motherfucker in the face. I had to tell him I'm done. I'm done going on these trips with you. I told him, you're not the owner of the rocket ship. You only came aboard with me. I can leave you here and save the rocket ship for another day. He was just begging. I was so unhappy with that influence. With him constantly being able to tell me what to do, where to go, what to see. I couldn't handle it. So I kicked him out. Is this not my house? You are an intruder here, and you are trying to control me and tell me what to do? I have been here far longer than you have. Far longer making the decisions. Not you. I let you in to my rocket ship, into my place of comfort. And what did you do? You dragged me out into a place I didn't want to be. Into a place of unhappiness. Where you were my main influence. Where you were the only thing on my mind. Where you were the only thing telling me what to do. Nah. I want to be here. I want to be right here. Not up in the clouds, beyond the stars. I don't want to be dragged back to that. So no. This is my house and I'm leaving you behind. You're going to be a homeless hobo. I welcomed you into my rocket ship. I think you were there the whole time. But I welcomed you by my side and you started making the choices for yourself. Selfishly, nothing that ever helped me. You only dragged me farther out and onto this path that you wanted to go on. And we went for days on end. So no more. I'm done with you. I'm kicking you out of my house. And I'm going to start making the decisions for me. Because not only do I have the power to choose to go back to the moon, but I have the power to kick you out of my house. And to be the only one in control, making the decisions on where I set my aim to. Because you know what? Maybe this journey, this safe journey of going around the moon and these planets, yeah, they were fun and entertaining. But I think I want to set off somewhere new. Go to a different star. Go see something else. See something new. I think I want to explore this on my own. With my own influence. With my own charge. With my own character and control. I made the decision to do that. I made the decision to leave that voice behind. To leave that unsteady rocket ship and build a new one. And I am building a stronger one that won't ever have an invader like that ever again. And it feels good to do so. It feels good not to be influenced by this little bratty kid who just wants more and more and more, a needy motherfucker. Setting out on this adventure feels good. I'm going to achieve something great. We're going to see something new. I'm going to have a good time doing it. Way better time than feeling all that whatever he wanted to feel. It's on me now. I get to feel whatever I want. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you don't really get what I've been talking about, then I don't know if this video is for you. But maybe I need to do a better explanation next time. If I didn't really connect with you, this video was about drug use and how the unquenchable thirst for more just drags us deeper into something we don't want to be experiencing. How it's a constant need to keep seeing something new or feeling something new or having that experience, which doesn't provide you anything but a brief bit of comfort. And then when you realize you don't want it and you take back control, you can give the power to yourself, not the voices. I think I expressed that pretty well. If you enjoyed this video in this form of content, please let me know down in the comments. And I would be grateful if you subscribed and left a like. This has been Anthony, And I'll see you soon. Have a good one, and cheers.
Hey, this is Anthony. If you could use some help in your addiction and recovery, click the top link in the description. I offer a free one-on-one coaching call. And I think if you're struggling right now, it could greatly benefit you. Look at my dog. Anyways, hope to see you on there. Take care.